This is NR2003 Predicts. We take the entry list of the top 3 NASCAR series, run them through the N ratings algorithm, set them up by their provisional lineup, and see what the computer says will be the finishing order on race day. Truck Series getting the first stab at Talladega, and Parker Kligerman getting his 3rd victory at this track. Ty Majeski, Grant Enfinger, Zane Smith also up there inside the top 5. John Hunter Nemechek also getting the top 10, and it seems like it was a boom or bust day for the playoff drivers as Stuart Friesen, Ben Rhodes, Chandler Smith, Christian Eckes all finishing outside the top 20, most of them involved in accidents that took them out of the race. And in the Xfinity Series, there was another non-playoff driver going to victory lane, Trevor Bayne, first to the line, followed by Sheldon Creed, A.J. Allmendinger, Sam Mayer, and Austin Hill, all playoff drivers inside the top 5. A few more playoff drivers finishing inside the top 20. We did have a few, though, that were outside. Brandon Jones, Ryan Sieg, and Jeremy Clements, those independent teams having some issues today, and several drivers taken out in this one as well. Might set up for a very chaotic cup race. Christopher Bell grabbing his 2nd pole at this track. The other one coming earlier this season. He's going to be one to watch out for. Kyle Larson to his outside. Green flag is out here at Talladega. Bell out front early, but here comes Denny Hamlin to the inside. Chase Briscoe and Noah Gragson trailing. Bell's going to be hung out there, and he's not going to lead this first lap. And obviously, we did say Noah Gragson, he is in the 48. Alex Bowman out with concussion-like symptoms after an accident at Texas. So a playoff driver not competing in this race. If Bowman is able to come back for Charlotte Roval, he'll need to win that event to move on to the round of 8. But otherwise, it looks like his playoff hopes might be finished up. Talladega is a very chaotic track. How chaotic? Well, Ty Dillon, among the drivers in the field, leads the way in average finish, and that's only at 14th position. Really, whenever you come here, you never know who's going to grab the victory. However, Brad Keselowski has 6 of those wins here, so he is pretty good at the Superspeedway. However, he's looking for his first win of the season, and his first one with RFK Racing. Joey Logano kind of trailing behind this pack. He is currently leading the point standing, so he wants to make sure that he can get to the end of this race and grab as many points as he can, help himself out to move to the round of 8. 9 top 5s here for him. Trouble here in the tri-oval. Big hit, and that's Brad Keselowski. And Chase Elliott also involved. That's big for the playoff driver. But Keselowski takes a head-on hit into the wall, and it looks like that 6-time winner we talked about is not going to get number 7 here today, as he is now out of the race. And Chase Elliott also involved in that incident. He might be tracking a little slower. Kevin Harvick, 19 top 10s here. Trying to see what he can do just to grab another victory this season, and it's obviously been a rough playoffs for him after getting dropped out of the round of 16. Here we go. Chase Elliott is about to get lapped. Daniel Suarez currently leading the way, and he's going to pull in right behind Chase Elliott. So at the moment, Elliott on the tail end of the lead lap. However, he will get past, and that will put him a lap down. Martin Truex Jr. coming to the end of stage 1 with the lead. Denny Hamlin, Cole Custer, Ross Chastain, Kyle Larson inside the top 5. So we get back to the green flag, and now we'll have stage 2, another 60-lap segment. Hamlin pulling ahead, and looks like he's going to slot down and get in front of his teammate. And Hamlin's been very vocal about safety issues with the wake of Alex Bowman bowing out of this race, and he's a pretty good Superspeedway racer himself. Plenty of victories at Daytona, and trying to see if he can parlay that into a win here to move him to the round of 8. Last week it was another non-playoff driver, technically one that was in the playoffs, but got knocked out of the round of 16, and Tyler Reddick grabbed another victory on the season. A lot of speed out of that 8 team. And trouble here, Martin Truex Jr. into the outside wall, and Daniel Suarez involved in this one. A lot of problems in the tri-oval, and this time it's the 19 car that goes around collecting the 99. So now we've got Truex out of the race, and it looks like Suarez will stay on track. However, the driver that was leading just a few laps ago is now going to be tracking a little slower. Ross Chastain, his teammate, was the most recent winner at this track. Got the win over Austin Dillon, Kyle Busch. And this event last year, it was rain-shortened, but it was Bubba Wallace's first career victory. Sun is high in the sky today, so we should expect to see all 500 and potentially plus miles of this race. And as you can see, the 99 car struggling to keep up. Justin Allgaier going on the inside, and obviously Allgaier took over the 62 seat when Noah Gragson filled in for the 48. And troubles here as the leaders approach Cody Ware. The 51 car just came down for an engine issue. He comes back on the racetrack, but he is still tracking very slowly. And Joey Logano drives right by, and he's going to come to the end of Stage 2 with the lead and grab that playoff point. Ty Gibbs, Bubba Wallace, Cole Custer, Christopher Bell also inside the top 5. Good run there for 2311 Racing as both of their cars inside the top 3. Looks like it will be Ty Gibbs who gets out of pit lane first. He'll control the restart, but it looks like Christopher Bell gets the better jump. And Bell is in the most precarious situation out of all the playoff drivers in the field. Obviously, Alex Bowman is going to have a must-win situation on his hands next week if he's able to race, but Christopher Bell, who is in this race, is just 1 point above Bowman at the bottom of the playoff grid, and there's trouble entering Turn 3! Gragson with a little bit of airtime, and Austin Cindric also spinning around. I believe Cindric might have cut down on Ty Dillon late, and that sent all three of them to the apron, and the 48 catches a little bit of air after the 42 runs into him. Fortunately, he comes back on the ground and continues to race. Oh, we got another problem here as Ricky Stenhouse Jr. gets turned into the wall by Kyle Busch. And that is another tri-oval incident. And we're just learning that Chase Elliott has dropped out of the race. And it looks like those problems he was having keeping up is going to cost him. And he's going to fall back into the garage. Austin Cindric, however, he was just spinning around, but he's still up here competing inside the top 10. 11 points below the cut line, which is Chase Elliott, and that news that Elliott has gone to the garage is going to help them. Blaney, a two-time winner at this track, and hoping that he can get his first victory of the season, that would advance him to the round of 8. He's currently riding a little bit further behind, and more trouble here in the tri-oval. This time it is Kyle Busch. And Christopher Bell also put into the wall. And trouble again for the 18 cars. He's already out of the playoffs. And now the 20 car going to have a little bit of issues getting going. We're having some different fuel strategies here. We should note some drivers are staying out. Some drivers have come in at weird times. Oh, and a big push there. Harrison Burton up into the wall. A little bit of contact with Justin Allgaier as we're seeing William Byron, who got a points penalty for running into the 11 car last week. He's now below the playoff cut line as a result, and Kyle Larson is a lap down due to some fuel strategy and some ill-timed cautions. Really just not a good day for Hendrick Motorsports. And as we're approaching the end of this race, we've got to watch out for this 51 car. Still slow on the racetrack, and Almirola almost runs into the back of him. Chase Briscoe goes around on the outside and gets a big run out in front. Now it's the 14 car leading the way at this race. But he is all alone. Can the draft catch up to him and grab that position? Briscoe, definitely not a name you expect to go and win a super speedway. He only has one top 5 across 7 starts on super speedways, and we're seeing here that's Noah Gragson coming back on the track. As we mentioned, some drivers were gambling on fuel, and it looks like some are not panning out. Some have come down late. However, it is Briscoe still out in front, coming through the tri-oval. The pack has not caught up to him. The draft could not catch him, and Briscoe, just avoiding trouble at the end, is going to grab the victory at Talladega and move himself into the round of 8. Not the finish we were expecting there, but Briscoe was able to take the win, and he is the first driver to lock himself into the round of 8. Eric Almirola, his teammate, comes up in the second position. Eric Jones, who just won recently at Darlington, comes in third. Austin Cindric in fourth. Joey Logano fifth. Good run for those Penske drivers. And Ryan Blaney also down there in ninth. So really all good runs for the Penske drivers. And also for 2311 Racing, 6th and 8th for them. Some issues here for playoff drivers. William Byron fell off the pack. Christopher Bell just inside the lead lap. I imagine he came down for a pit stop. And Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, who I believe came down earlier, got trapped a lap down. Daniel Suarez fell off the pace as a result of that incident in the tri-oval, and Chase Elliott, also with an issue in the tri-oval, had to take it to the garage. He comes home in the 30th position, and that is a really big blow for the 2020 champion. He might not be able to advance unless he can win at the Charlotte Roval, which he still has a very good chance at. That is it for NR2003 Predicts. We hope you enjoy the race, and we will see you all next time.